Chosen one. The air around you has shifted. You can feel it, can't you? The silence has become heavier, the glances linger longer, and even the smallest whispers seem to echo your name. There's something happening behind the scenes, something God has already seen. They're asking questions about you, questions that carry envy, fear, and hidden intent. You were never meant to fit in with them, yet now they can't look away. You've become the mystery they can't solve, the light they can't dim, and the topic they can't stop discussing. Their curiosity isn't innocent. It's spiritual surveillance. And heaven is warning you. Be careful who you trust when your name starts traveling farther than your own footsteps. You're not here by accident. You've been guided to this very moment for a reason. The message you're hearing isn't random. It's divine timing aligning perfectly with your awareness. Write 99 in the comments. It's time to release your wish to the universe. Let your spirit speak through your words. If your soul woke up while listening, don't scroll away. Like this video. Subscribe now. You belong here. You've been chosen not just to be watched, but to be protected by forces unseen. They can sense that something in your energy has changed. You used to walk unnoticed, blending in with the noise of the world, but not anymore. Your aura has shifted from quiet to powerful, from hidden to radiant. People who once ignored you are suddenly drawn to you, yet they don't even understand why. Their questions sound harmless. What's different about them? Who are they really? Why does it feel like something follows them? But underneath those questions lies something spiritual, the recognition of divine presence. They can't name it, but they can feel it. Your elevation is exposing their confusion. They're trying to analyze something that was never meant to be understood by human logic. They talk in circles. They dig through your past. They replay your words, hoping to find an explanation for the light around you. What they don't realize is that you are wrapped in divine protection. The more they investigate, the more their own spirits feel restless because they are touching something sacred. God has placed a seal on your name, and anyone trying to uncover your mystery without pure intent is walking into spiritual danger. Don't be surprised when you start noticing strange patterns. The same faces showing up again, familiar names appearing in unexpected places, subtle signs that your presence is being tracked. Don't panic. This is confirmation that your purpose has begun to disturb the spiritual equilibrium around you. When chosen ones rise, their movement sends waves across both seen and unseen realms. You are awakening dimensions that others can only feel as confusion. Be still, because heaven is documenting every tongue that moves against you. You don't need to fight their curiosity. It's already turning into your testimony. Every question they ask is proof that your destiny is alive. They want to understand what they can't contain. They sense that something divine is unfolding, and it frightens them. But remember this: when God promotes you, people begin to investigate what they never valued before. It's not your job to defend yourself. Your glow is the only explanation they'll ever get. They're watching closer now. Chosen one. The energy in the air feels electric, almost like a storm waiting to break. You might not hear their words, but you can feel the weight of their thoughts pressing against your spirit. The questions have grown louder, bolder. Who do they think they are? Why does everything seem to work in their favor? How did they survive that? They speak in whispers, but heaven hears every syllable. You are being discussed in rooms your feet have never stepped into. People you've never met are trying to define you. But what they don't understand is that you are not just a person. You are an assignment from God, and those who touch your name carelessly are stepping into sacred ground. You're not here by coincidence. The universe has aligned this exact moment for you to hear this. You've been chosen to awaken, to realize the spiritual magnitude of your existence. This is not just another video. It's a mirror for your divine journey. Write 99 in the comments. It's time to release your wish to the universe and activate the energy around your destiny. Pour your heart into that comment, because the act itself becomes a prayer. If your spirit feels alive right now, don't scroll away. Like this video. Subscribe now. You belong here with those who see beyond the surface. Your presence here is no mistake. It's divine orchestration. You've probably noticed how strange it's become lately. The sudden interest, the random messages, the energy shifts when you enter a room. It's not paranoia. It's discernment. Your spirit is detecting what your eyes can't yet see. They're studying you, not because you've done anything wrong, but because your light exposes what's hidden in them. Every time you walk into a space, energies rearrange. The room feels different. Some people feel inspired. Others feel threatened. You were never meant to be universally liked. You were meant to trigger truth. Be careful, because curiosity often hides intent. Some are genuinely drawn to your light. Others are quietly planning how to drain it. They smile, but their questions are loaded. How are you doing so well? What's your secret? Who helps you? They ask with politeness, but their spirit leaks envy. When God anoints someone, it makes others restless. Your peace becomes their confusion, your faith becomes their frustration, and your progress becomes their obsession. That's why you feel spiritual resistance, because your energy has outgrown your environment. Don't explain yourself anymore. The more you speak, the more they twist your words. The more you share, the more they take without gratitude. It's time to let silence speak for you. When you say nothing, your presence says everything. God is using your silence as protection, not weakness. Those asking questions about you are unknowingly writing your story of victory. They are the background noise to your divine unfolding. You don't need to defend your name. Heaven is doing it for you. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Remember that curiosity fades, but truth endures. When they realize they can't find flaws in your spirit, they'll move on. But by then, you'll have already risen to the next level, untouched, unbothered, unexplainable. Because that's what happens when God hides his chosen ones in plain sight. Everyone sees them, yet no one can reach them. They can't stop talking about you now, chosen one. Even when your name isn't mentioned aloud, it lives rent-free in their minds. You've become a subject of fascination, a story they can't quite understand, but can't ignore either. Every move you make is observed, every silence analyzed. They're asking questions not because they care, but because they sense you've crossed into a higher dimension of purpose. You've shifted from being someone they knew to someone they can't explain. That's what divine elevation does. It exposes spiritual curiosity in others. You've outgrown the old version of yourself, and now they're left wondering what happened, how you changed, and why their access no longer reaches you. They'll say they're just curious, but there's something deeper driving it, a spiritual pull mixed with envy. The more they talk, the more they reveal their own confusion. They're trying to gather information, but what they don't realize is that heaven has already restricted access to your essence. You've been spiritually encrypted. Every time they try to understand you, their own reflection shows instead. That's why they become irritated, because you remind them of what they could have been if they had chosen faith over fear. It's important now, more than ever, to protect your energy. Don't give everyone your time. Don't answer every question. Not every conversation is a safe one. Some are spiritual traps designed to extract your peace. God is warning you not to over-explain, not to reveal too much. Those who truly love you won't need an explanation. They'll just feel the truth in your presence. But those with wrong intentions will always demand details, so they can use them as weapons later. Your silence is your armor now. You may feel isolated, misunderstood, even accused. That's because they're trying to fill in the blanks with their imagination. But God designed it that way. Confusion is part of your protection. They won't be able to trace how you keep moving forward despite everything that should have broken you. They'll whisper, "How are they still standing?" They'll wonder how your light didn't go out after the storms you've endured. What they don't know is that your strength doesn't come from them. It comes from divine preservation. You're being powered by something unseen, something eternal. The questions they ask are not just about your life. They're about your calling. Your peace bothers them because it's unshakable. Your glow intimidates them because it can't be fabricated. And your presence disrupts the atmosphere because it carries divine truth. The moment they decided to study you was the moment heaven began studying them. Every whisper, every false curiosity, every fake concern, God sees it. You are not the one being tested anymore. They are. So don't shrink back. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Keep shining, even if it blinds those who refuse to grow. Your life is a mirror that exposes spiritual laziness in others. Their curiosity is proof that your energy is rare. They're not asking questions because you're doing something wrong. They're asking because you're doing something right. The silence around you is not empty, chosen one. It's charged. The unseen world is paying attention. When God elevates someone, it's not just heaven that notices. Hell does too. That's why the energy feels heavier lately, why people's tone has shifted, why certain faces you once trusted now carry subtle tension. They've begun comparing their lives to yours, measuring your blessings against their doubts. It's not that you've changed too much. It's that your growth has revealed their stagnation. And now, instead of seeking their own light, they've turned their eyes toward yours, asking questions that were never meant for them to answer. You were warned for a reason. Some of the people asking about you are not doing so with love. They're doing it to collect spiritual data, to know what keeps you strong, what makes you glow, what you pray for at night. Their curiosity has become their obsession, and their obsession has become their downfall. Because when God covers someone, any attempt to uncover them is met with spiritual blindness. They can't see you clearly anymore. The old stories about you no longer make sense because you're no longer who you were when those stories began. They're trying to figure out what changed, how you went from silent to unstoppable, from forgotten to favored. They see doors opening for you that didn't open for them, and instead of celebrating, they investigate. But here's the mystery. They can't trace grace. They can't map divine favor. Every time they think they've understood you, God shifts the narrative again. That's why they're confused. Because your journey isn't being written by human hands. There will be moments when you'll feel eyes on you even when you're alone. Don't be afraid of that feeling. It's not paranoia. It's discernment. The chosen can sense attention even in silence. You're aware because your spirit operates at a higher frequency. But listen, your awareness is not for fear, it's for control. You've been given the power to observe without reacting, to perceive without panicking. You don't have to prove your innocence or explain your blessings. Every rumor that rises against you is already dissolving under divine truth. They don't realize that their curiosity is turning into a confession. Every question they ask exposes what their spirit lacks. Every time they mention your name, they feed your momentum. You are not being talked about because you're ordinary. You're being discussed because you're extraordinary. The light of God on your life demands attention, and attention always attracts inquiry. Be careful, but not afraid. You were built for this. You were anointed to walk under divine surveillance and still stay unshaken. So when you feel the whispers growing louder, stand taller. When their questions multiply, say less. Let your stillness confuse them. Let your peace disarm them. You are the storm they didn't see coming, not with thunder, but with quiet authority. You were never meant to explain what heaven has already confirmed. Your purpose is to keep walking while they talk. And in time, the same mouths that questioned you will have no choice but to acknowledge that your rise was divine, not designed. They're starting to realize, chosen one, that their questions won't unlock the mystery. The more they talk, the less they understand. Their words chase your shadow, but your spirit keeps moving forward, untouched. You've become something they can't categorize, too strong to dismiss, too protected to harm. Their curiosity is turned into frustration, their gossip into exhaustion. They keep asking, who are they really? But no one can give them an answer because your identity was never built on human definitions. It was shaped by divine fire. You are what happens when God decides to hide his masterpiece in plain sight. You've reached the point where silence speaks louder than explanation. Every unanswered question has become a wall of protection. You're learning that discernment isn't just knowing who's against you. It's understanding who no longer deserves access to your peace. The questions being asked about you are not yours to answer. They're theirs to wrestle with. Because when people are faced with something divine, they either honor it or they question it. And those who question what's sacred reveal the weakness in their own spirit. You were never meant to explain miracles to minds that thrive on logic. The truth is, you've become a walking disruption in a world addicted to predictability. Your energy doesn't follow the rules. Your blessings arrive without warnings. You recover too fast, rise too high, and glow too brightly for those still living in shadows. That's why they're curious, because you make the impossible look effortless. You are a divine contradiction, a living reminder that God still moves through chosen vessels. And that realization both fascinates and frightens those who can't understand how your name keeps surviving every attempt to distort it. Be careful now, because this is when curiosity becomes testing. They'll act friendly, ask soft questions, pretend to care. But what they're really seeking is information to use later. This is where wisdom must guide you. The same people who question you in secret will smile in your face. Don't hate them, just discern them. Keep your words measured, your energy clean, your circle small. God is filtering your surroundings through spiritual exposure. You're being refined by attention. The wrong eyes are revealing themselves one by one. And while they keep searching, heaven keeps elevating you. Their conversations are powerless against your purpose. The more they speak your name, the more heaven marks it with favor. Every whisper becomes a confirmation that you are moving in divine timing. You don't have to respond to their curiosity. You just have to keep glowing, keep walking, keep trusting. Because eventually, their questions will fade into awe, and their investigation will turn into admiration. The chosen are never fully understood, only witnessed. And that's exactly what's happening now. Chosen one. This is the turning point. The storm of questions, the whispers behind your back, the quiet investigations, all of it has served its purpose. You were never being exposed. You were being revealed. What they thought was gossip became your announcement. Every time your name left their lips, heaven wrote it in light. They thought they were dissecting your life, but they were documenting your rise. And now, the same voices that questioned you are about to witness something divine. A shift so powerful that silence will fall over every tongue that ever doubted your name. Understand this. You were never meant to be understood. God designed your story to be layered, sacred, and protected from the unworthy. They're still asking who you are, not realizing that the answer is written in your endurance. Every time you survived what was meant to destroy you, you became more mysterious to them. You should have fallen, but you didn't. You should have given up, but you rose higher. That's why they ask questions, because your existence defies logic. You're walking proof that grace can't be explained, only experienced. They will keep wondering how you keep winning in silence. They will ask how doors open for you without effort, how your glow remains even after battle. But you know the truth. It's not luck. It's alignment. It's divine strategy. What they see as mystery is really mercy. God has hidden your process to protect your progress. And every time they try to watch, they only see the surface. They'll never see the warfare, the tears, the private prayers that built your peace. That's why they envy the result, but can't handle the cost. Now listen carefully. The questions won't stop, but they'll lose their power. Soon, they won't ask out of envy, but out of awe. The energy around your name is transforming. God is turning curiosity into conviction. Those who once whispered about you will be silenced by the weight of your transformation. The same people who questioned your purpose will start asking how to find theirs. That's how divine justice works. It doesn't argue, it manifests. So walk forward, chosen one, with your head high and your spirit unshaken. You are no longer who you were when they first began talking. You've been refined by the fire of exposure and purified by the light of discernment. You've learned to live without defending yourself, to move without explaining, to glow without permission. Let them ask. Let them wonder. Let them talk. Because while they search for answers, heaven is already writing your next chapter, one they'll never see coming. You've reached the part of your journey where questions fade, but revelation begins. Every rumor has lost its echo. Every doubt has met its end. And now you stand in the quiet power of being chosen, unbothered, unshaken, unexplainable. Because when God says, "Be careful who asks about my anointed," it's not a warning to you. It's a warning to them. The time has come, chosen one. The storm has settled. The whispers have lost their echo, and the truth has revealed itself in divine silence. You were never meant to be understood by those who gossip. You were meant to be recognized by those who can see the fingerprints of God on your life. Every question they asked, every rumor they started, every attempt to decode your journey, it all became the instrument of your unveiling. You were the mystery they could never solve because your life was written in a language only heaven could read. Their questions were never really about you. They were about what you represent, the living proof that divine favor cannot be faked, and the destiny, once awakened, can't be stopped. God let them talk so they would reveal themselves. He let your name circulate so that hidden hearts would expose their true colors. What they meant for gossip, He turned into guidance, for you to know who's genuine and who's jealous. You were never being watched for destruction. You were being studied for protection. Each whisper became a spotlight showing you what needed to leave your life before the next elevation. And now that the truth is visible, you understand the deeper reason for the warning. Be careful. It wasn't about fear. It was about discernment. It was about not letting curiosity become contamination. Because not everyone asking about you deserves an answer, and not everyone watching your journey is clapping for you. But you kept your peace. You stayed silent when you could have spoken. You let grace defend you when pride wanted to respond. That's why your silence carries power now. Because it was born from restraint, not weakness. You've learned that strength isn't loud, it's controlled. The same mouths that once doubted you are now being forced to acknowledge your glow. They see your stability and wonder how you didn't fall apart. They see your rise and wonder who's behind you. They don't realize that your who has always been God. Every unanswered question, every rumor that dissolved, every evil eye that failed, all of it became the proof that your anointing is untouchable. You've become the living evidence that being chosen is both a blessing and a responsibility. People will study you, misunderstand you, misjudge you, and still fail to stop you. You've reached the level where their questions no longer sting. They serve as confirmation. When people talk about you in circles, it's a sign that you're expanding beyond their reach. You're occupying spiritual territory they can't enter. That's why their words hit the walls of your protection and echo back as confusion. They're trying to describe a miracle with human logic, and miracles cannot be explained, only witnessed. Now the tables have turned. The same ones who once asked, "Who do they think they are?" will soon whisper, "How did they do it?" And they'll realize it was never you doing it. It was God moving through you, step by step, moment by moment. You didn't chase attention. Attention found you. You didn't beg to be seen. Light made you visible. That's the difference between being popular and being chosen. Popularity fades, but divine purpose echoes through eternity. So stand still in your power now. Let your peace be louder than their curiosity. Let your growth be your only answer. The time for explanation is over. The time for manifestation has begun. You don't owe the world a response. Your blessings will speak for you. Every eye that once watched with envy will now witness your becoming. Every question that once carried doubt will soon carry awe. Because when God decides to make a statement, He uses the lives of those who remained faithful through misunderstanding. Be careful still, but not afraid. Their eyes can watch, but they can't touch. Their questions can circle, but they can't pierce. You've been sealed in divine light, hidden in purpose, and lifted by grace. You no longer move under observation. You move under ordination. You are the answer to your own prayer, the proof of divine timing, the manifestation of sacred patience. Let them keep wondering, chosen one, because some mysteries are not meant to be solved, only respected. And you, right now, are one of them, chosen one. The air around you has been whispering warnings you didn't understand. Until now, something unseen has been following you, not in shadows, but in energy. You felt it, that object that calls your name, that strange pull towards something you were never meant to touch. It might be small, ordinary, maybe even beautiful, but beauty can hide venom, and light can disguise a curse. God said, "Do not touch that object. It's cursed." This isn't superstition, it's protection. What you think is harmless carries a vibration meant to chain your spirit. It's not about the item itself. It's about the energy that clings to it, the intention behind it, and the darkness that attached itself long before it found its way near you. Some things are doors disguised as decorations, traps wrapped in sentiment, tokens soaked in memory. You were chosen to feel the warning that others ignore. The reason it unsettles you is because your spirit already knows. It does not belong to you. You're not here by accident. You've been guided to this moment because your spirit has been brushed by something that isn't clean. The curse doesn't always announce itself with fear. Sometimes it comes through fascination, the urge to hold it, to keep it close, to think of it as meaningful. That's how it binds. But God is cutting that cord now. You're being called to let go, to burn the attachment before it burns you. Write 99 in the comments. It's time to release your wish to the universe and declare your freedom from what was never meant to be yours. If your spirit woke up while listening, don't scroll away. Like this video. Subscribe now. You belong here. The energy flowing through this message is meant to cleanse the part of you that has been quietly crying for peace. Some curses don't come from witches or rituals. They come from pain, from objects that absorb the grief, anger, or obsession of their owners. When someone pours too much emotion into something, especially in hate or loss, that emotion embeds itself like ink on fabric. Over time, that object becomes alive with memory. It remembers who touched it. It remembers who wept near it. And when a chosen one like you picks it up, your spirit becomes a mirror. It reflects and absorbs at once. That's why your dreams changed. That's why the room felt different when you entered. Your sensitivity isn't weakness. It's a spiritual sensor designed to detect what's unholy. God is not warning you because he wants to scare you. He's preparing you to discern the invisible. When he says, "Don't touch," it's because he already saw what your eyes can't. There are energies that linger, energies that mimic comfort, nostalgia, or mystery. But the moment you engage, they plant seeds of confusion. You start doubting your path, second-guessing your purpose, feeling drained without knowing why. That's not coincidence. That's contamination. Chosen. 1. Understand this. Cursed objects are spiritual parasites. They feed on your divine frequency until you can't hear heaven's voice clearly anymore. That's why the enemy tries to disguise them as gifts, antiques, or sentimental treasures. They're Trojan horses for despair. But there's hope, even in warning. You have power over what tries to possess you. You are not a victim of curses, you're a carrier of light. Every cursed thing trembles in the hands of one who remembers who they are. The command, "Do not touch," isn't a rejection. It's an elevation. It means God has something greater prepared, something pure, something designed only for you. But you can't receive it while holding what carries decay. Detachment is not loss, it's alignment. When you let go, you make space for heaven's exchange, a divine trade, where what's cursed is replaced by what's blessed. Think back. What did you recently find, buy, or receive that unsettled you for no clear reason? What did you bring into your space that suddenly shifted your energy? That's not coincidence. The chosen feel these distortions immediately. You may have even seen it in dreams, a symbol, a warning, a voice that said, "Don't." Trust that instinct. God's messages often come wrapped in silence and repetition. When something inside you whispers, "This doesn't feel right," that's divine language. Don't argue with it. Don't reason with it. Obey it. And as this revelation settles into your soul, let yourself breathe again. You've just been given insight into a battle most people never see. God doesn't warn those who are unimportant. He warns those carrying destiny. That's why you're hearing this. This isn't random. It's sacred timing. The object, the feeling, the sudden unease. It's all aligning to remind you that your path is holy, and holiness must be guarded. Tonight, as you rest, let the words echo softly. Do not touch that object. It's cursed. Let it become not fear in your heart, but wisdom in your spirit. You are chosen to know what others overlook. The night feels different when something unholy lingers nearby, doesn't it, chosen one? The air thickens, the silence speaks, and even the smallest sound feels amplified, as if the world itself is holding its breath. You start to sense the unseen, that subtle weight pressing on your spirit, that invisible static humming in the background. You can't quite name it, but your soul knows. That object, it's not just physical, it's spiritual. You were never meant to touch it. God said don't, and deep down, you already knew why. The curse isn't just in the object, it's in the bond it tries to form with your heart. You feel drawn, but that pull isn't love. It's a chain disguised as curiosity. You're not here by accident. You've been guided to this very moment because heaven needed you to see what's been happening behind the scenes. You're being warned not to touch what glitters, but doesn't glow with truth. That object, whatever form it takes, was planted to confuse, to drain, to delay you from stepping into what's yours. But you are not powerless. The same divine energy that brought you to this message can break every tie that darkness ever tried to weave. Write 99 in the comments. It's time to release your wish to the universe and let the light know you're ready for freedom. If your spirit woke up while listening, don't scroll away. Like this video. Subscribe now. You belong here, among the awakened, where your energy won't be mocked or misunderstood. This is your confirmation that God sees what touched you, and He's pulling you out before it spreads deeper. Cursed objects hide in plain sight. A ring that once symbolized love now hums with betrayal. A painting that once brought beauty now drains every ounce of warmth from your home. A gift that arrived unexpectedly now shifts your peace the moment it enters your space. Objects hold energy like water holds reflection. They remember what was poured into them. If the person who owned it was filled with pain, obsession, envy, or darkness, the object absorbs it all, and it waits for a new vessel to continue its work. That's why the enemy loves objects. They don't argue, they don't forget, and they can travel unnoticed from hand to hand, home to home, heart to heart. You, chosen one, were born to break that cycle. The enemy fears you because your presence exposes hidden energy. You don't need to see it. You feel it. That tightening in your chest, that chill without wind, that sense of heaviness in a room where no one speaks. These are your early warnings. You might think you're paranoid, but you're actually prophetic. Your sensitivity is divine surveillance. When God says, "Do not touch," He's not limiting your life. He's saving it. He knows the residue of those who once owned that thing, the whispers they spoke, the tears they shed, the hate they carried. And He's keeping it from attaching to you because He needs your spirit clean, clear, and untainted for the mission ahead. It's easy to underestimate the power of contamination when it doesn't scream. Most cursed energy doesn't shout. It whispers. It tells you it's harmless. It tells you to keep it just a little longer. It disguises itself as nostalgia, as sentiment, as curiosity. But the longer you hold it, the more you start thinking thoughts that aren't yours. The more you start feeling drained, the more confusion replaces peace. The object doesn't need to move. It just needs you to keep it close. Every moment you delay, it feeds. That's why your dreams have been strange. That's why you feel uneasy around certain things but can't explain why. The curse doesn't need your fear. It needs your attention. The good news? Awareness breaks its grip. When you expose darkness, it loses power. That's why this message reached you today. It's heaven's intervention. You are being asked to cleanse your space, to trust your instincts, and to take authority over what lingers. Go through your environment with discernment. If it carries a story that doesn't feel right, release it. If it feels heavy, remove it. If your intuition says it's wrong, don't argue. Throw it away, bury it, burn it, but don't keep it. You are not losing something. You're freeing yourself. Every cursed thing that leaves your hands open space for a divine gift that truly belongs to you. The energy of your surroundings shapes your spiritual signal. When the objects near you hum with purity, your prayers rise faster. When they hum with corruption, your spirit grows restless. You are not imagining it. Your soul is recalibrating. God has been fine-tuning you for this moment, to recognize the difference between what's blessed and what's cursed. You have been chosen to be the guardian of your own space. What you allow in determines what energy surrounds you. Heaven's instruction is simple. If God said don't touch, don't. Obedience isn't fear, it's foresight. And when you finally let go of that one thing, when you break its hold, you'll feel it. A lightness, a stillness, a sudden quiet that isn't empty, but sacred. It's the sound of peace returning. It's the moment heaven sighs with relief, knowing you chose light over lure. That's how curses die, through awareness, obedience, and courage. God didn't choose you to fear darkness. He chose you to expose it. And tonight, that exposure begins. It started subtly, didn't it, chosen one? The object didn't scream evil, it whispered comfort. It seemed harmless, maybe even precious, but slowly, it began to change the air around you. It carried a presence that didn't belong. Every time you walked past it, something in you stirred, a heaviness, a distraction, a pull that you couldn't explain. That wasn't imagination. That was infiltration. The enemy doesn't always come with horns and fire. Sometimes he hides in sentiment, in beauty, in something that catches the eye but poisons the soul. God said, "Do not touch that object. It's cursed," and he meant it. Because the moment you made contact, the energy shifted. Something ancient, unseen, and unholy tried to make itself at home. Maybe it started with small things. Your focus slipping, your peace vanishing, sudden arguments, restless nights. Those aren't coincidences. That's spiritual residue, the echo of energy that clings like smoke after a fire. The object isn't alive, but the energy it carries is. It's like a recording of past pain, anger, obsession, or witchcraft, an invisible loop trying to replay itself through your life. When a chosen one like you enters the picture, that energy gets disturbed. It panics. It reacts. Because your light threatens its existence. That's why the warning came. That's why you're hearing this now. You weren't supposed to inherit someone else's torment. Cursed objects are keys that open doors you were never meant to walk through. They look ordinary, but the moment your energy connects, they form a bridge between worlds, a bridge between your spirit and the pain they hold. That's why God told you to stop. He saw what waited on the other side. You see, every cursed thing was once touched by a broken will. Someone poured into it their sorrow, their rage, their spell, their unfinished desire. The object became their echo. And when you, a chosen one, come near, your divine frequency wakes that echo up. It recognizes you, not by sight, but by light. That's when strange things begin to happen. Dreams turn darker, The air in your home feels heavy. Electronics glitch, small accidents multiply. You wake at odd hours for no reason. You sense something watching, not with eyes, but with attention. Because that energy wants acknowledgement. It wants to be felt. But you were never meant to feed it. Your purpose isn't to wrestle with it. It's to recognize and reject it. God didn't give you discernment for decoration. He gave it to you for protection. Every uneasy feeling, every sudden chill, every random burst of emotion when you see or touch that thing, it's all divine communication. Heaven's alarm system ringing softly, hoping you listen before the damage deepens. When God says don't touch, He's not punishing you. He's protecting your timeline. Every cursed thing you touch delays your destiny. It distracts your energy, diverts your purpose, dilutes your faith. And the most dangerous part, you start believing that heaviness is normal. You carry it until it feels like home. But it isn't home. It's a haunting. The curse doesn't want your possessions. It wants your peace, because your peace is where miracles are born. The more unsettled you are, the harder it is for you to hear God's next instruction. And the enemy knows that. That's why he uses the smallest objects to cause the greatest interference. But here's the truth. The darkness fears most. The chosen cannot stay cursed. You carry too much divine frequency. The curse may try to cling, but your spirit burns hotter than anything it can throw at you. The moment you recognize the trap, the bond begins to break. Awareness is warfare. The instant you see it for what it is, heaven moves. Angels surround what you renounce. Fire covers what you release. And that's why you're here. This is your deliverance disguised as a message. You're not weak for being affected. You're chosen for being sensitive. Sensitivity is your superpower. It's proof that you were made for spiritual battle, not just survival. You see, most people collect energy without knowing it. They decorate their homes with darkness. They carry it in jewelry, art, antiques, even gifts that were never truly meant for them. But your energy can't be fooled. You can walk into a room and instantly feel what others ignore. You can hold something for a second and know whether it carries peace or poison. That's why you were chosen. You were given divine discernment to protect your destiny. Don't silence it. Don't doubt it. Don't explain it away. When God warns you, it's not to make you afraid. It's to keep you powerful. Every warning is an act of love. And if you've already touched something cursed, don't panic. Repentance is stronger than residue. Speak light over it. Renounce it out loud. Command every energy not of God to leave your space. You don't have to fight it. You just have to refuse it. When the chosen say no, heaven enforces it. Remember, curses lose authority where obedience begins. God doesn't just protect you. He trains you to protect yourself. So tonight, chosen one, look around your space. Pay attention to what makes you uneasy. Hold nothing that carries confusion. If you feel drained around something, that's your sign. Do not touch. Do not keep. You are being cleansed, elevated, and prepared. The world calls it superstition, but heaven calls it discernment. Trust what you feel, because what you feel is not random. It's revelation. And somewhere, in the quiet of your room. An object is waiting to be released. Its time with you finally over. Chosen one. You've started to notice it, haven't you? That shift in the atmosphere, that sense of pressure easing as the cursed energy begins to lose its grip. You may not realize it yet, but every time you listen, every time you obey that whisper that says, "Don't touch," you're taking back territory that was stolen from your peace. Heaven rejoices when obedience overrides curiosity. What once tried to follow you now trembles at the strength you've remembered, because the truth is, darkness can't curse what God has claimed. And you, chosen one, were claimed long before the curse was ever cast. That object never stood a chance against your awakening. But there's still something you must understand. Cursed energy doesn't just want possession, it wants permission. It needs agreement. It can't control you unless you keep it. Every moment you hold on to it, even subconsciously, you feed it access. You may not bow to it, but by keeping it, you acknowledge it. That's why you've been instructed to let go, to throw it out, to burn the bridge before it burns your blessing. The curse operates through attachment. The moment you detach, it starves. The moment you release, it dissolves. The object doesn't just lose power, it loses purpose. You take back everything it tried to drain. Think of what that means for you now. Every step you've taken toward cleansing your environment has been a step toward realignment with your destiny. Every item you release sends a signal into the spiritual realm. This soul cannot be possessed. This light cannot be dimmed. The darkness doesn't vanish instantly. It recoils, confused, desperate. But you're not who you were when you first touched it. You've grown stronger, wiser, untouchable in your awareness. What was once a trap is now a testimony. That's the mystery of divine reversal. God turns every warning into a weapon. When you look back, you'll realize the curse was never about the object itself. It was about distraction. It was about keeping you tied to something small so you wouldn't rise into something great. The enemy doesn't always attack your body or your finances. He attacks your focus. He hides in the corners of your home, in the energy of things you think you own. But you don't belong to them. They belong to you. And what belongs to you must submit to your spirit. That's why your voice carries power. You don't have to fear. You have to command. Speak over your space. Say it out loud. Only divine energy is welcome here. Let your voice echo through every wall, every shadow, every forgotten corner. The vibration of your words will shake off what doesn't belong. Curses hate clarity. When you understand what's happening, they crumble. Ignorance is their oxygen, and knowledge suffocates them. The moment you call it by its name, it starts to die. The darkness doesn't want to be seen. It wants to hide under coincidence and logic. It wants you to say, "It's just an object. It's just my imagination." But your spirit knows better. Every time you've ignored your intuition, you've felt the cost. Every time you've obeyed it, you've felt peace. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. You were designed to feel energy, to translate what others dismiss, to detect what others overlook. That's part of your divine DNA. So when you cleanse, do it with intention. Don't just remove the object, remove its permission. Say goodbye to it not in fear, but in authority. You are not expelling it because you're weak. You're evicting it because you're royal. God doesn't warn servants. He instructs heirs. The warning came not to frighten you, but to reveal how powerful you are. You're not under attack. You're under awakening. Every cursed thing that once surrounded you was a test of your sensitivity, and you passed it. You noticed. You discerned. You obeyed. That obedience is a spiritual promotion. The next time something enters your life, a gift, an antique, a token, watch how it feels. Don't just look at what it is. Feel